It's done from an educational standpoint and helping you, right? And getting that initial off the ground. I messed that up. Let me back up and redo it. No. I'm a real estate investor. I'm sharing everything I know about Subject to in a way that complete beginners understand. This guy is John Pratt, our fearless novice, diving headfirst into the world of Subject to real estate deals. Watch as I start him on the path. I'm your guide, Kyle Kargas, and this is Subject to Real Estate Secrets, the path from moron to millionaire. Welcome to Subject to Real Estate Secrets, the path from moron to millionaire. A subject to real estate deal is when you can take over a seller's mortgage payments so they can leave, walk away from a property they don't want anymore, and you can buy it without having to use a bank or your own money. John, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Dude, we are on episode, this is 9? I think 8?
Yeah.
Episode 8, incredible. This is going by so quickly, and we have made some good progress, my man.
Yeah.
Right? You have, think back already. We had the board here. We've gone through how all that layout was. We've given you homework and steps. The last episode, right, was more of a Q&A, right? Because we talked about how it's easy for people to get stuck.
Yeah.
And I actually predicted that was going to happen.
Okay, yeah, because my mental blocks that I just made up, really, we discovered, I just made them up.
Right.
Were like stopping me. So I was stopping myself.
Yep, exactly. So glad to have you back. Today's episode, right, which of course we're going to go discuss, and we'll go over some questions that you have in your homework, okay? But today's episode, okay, is the next step. What we're going to be going over is your homework all the way up to this point, John, okay? Give me a quick recap. What was your homework?
Every episode or the preceding this episode?
Preceding this episode.
I talked about, I recorded it. I recorded the homework behind the scenes. And what I did was I was in BatchLeads. I know we're going to use Deal Sauce in the future, but for now, you and I are in BatchLeads.
Yep.
And I created what I thought was a meaningful list, my first list in the Phoenix market, and exported that list. So that's like part one of the homework that I did.
Okay.
Part two was I brought that same list, I imported it into LOI Blaster. So in my homework, you'll see that I recorded it. You'll see me buy LOI Blaster and like import the list, learn all about LOI Blaster. And then, of course, blast the list out. And so that's part two. And then 3 of 3 is to field the warm calls.
The incoming responses.
Yeah, so if people respond, if agents respond, then to warm call them, put them on the calendar. Part 3 of 3 never happened because I didn't get any responses for this list. Okay. So obviously my list needs to be better in the future.
Excellent. Interesting. So, and then today's episode, we're going to talk about, yes, you still have to get that third part, right? But I want to focus more on the appointment setting part. Okay. So far, and what's really interesting right now, there's actually a challenge going on, okay, in the Subject to community, Sub 2 community called the No One Left Behind Challenge. Okay. It's for Sub 2 members, okay, to join. So if you're in Sub 2, you should go to nolbchallenge.com to go join the next No One Left Behind Challenge, which is putting almost exactly what we're talking about here into play. Okay. And it's kind of like going back to that previous in episode 2, okay, of the board and all the pieces that the whole system that I laid out here for you. And it's creating a team where each person will do a piece of the puzzle. Yeah. Okay. Now you already, because you're all by yourself, besides having me to guide you, are kind of doing, we've done a limited piece of the whole system, but it's still actually more than even one individual sometimes has to do if they go join a team. Okay. In the No One Left Behind Challenge, you have one person that's doing the homework that I have already assigned to you, pulling the lists, doing the LOI Blaster, and then the next person is the appointment setter. You're going to also be that person, though, in these videos. Yeah. Okay, where you're going to be filling those warm leads. You're going to be setting up the appointments, right? Yeah. Etc. Okay? So, but if somebody wants to, you can also go watch that whole No One Left Behind challenge is recorded. And they will let anyone watch day 1 and 2 sub 2 only members, right, get all the rest, and they can actually participate. Okay, so if you're not in sub 2 already, I'll make sure there's a link down below. So if you want to join the sub 2 community, feel free to do so you can be in the next one, right? Maybe you're having a hard time trying to find someone like me.
It's going to be impossible for them to do it by themselves.
It's impossible to do the whole
almost
thing by
impossible.
themselves for sure, and their chances of success is very low. Even just doing the initial pieces, like the parts that I'm having you do.
Yeah.
You have me to help guide you through that. They need to find me or need to go get part of a team.
Yeah.
Right? So the No One Left Behind challenge is the way for them to be part of the team. So I would recommend anyone go join one of those teams if you don't have someone to guide you, okay, kind of coach you along. Okay? So that's what we'll be doing today. So let's watch your homework videos.
Okay. All right, homework time. We're going to do 3 things. Number 1, we're going to open up BatchLeads, make a list, and export that list. What I think will be a meaningful list. I could be wrong. Number 2, we're going to import that list into LOI Blaster and blast out to agents. Number 3, if I even get that far in my funnel, if I have agents who, if my list is good and they actually respond to me, then I will warm call those agents and set them on the calendar. So let's start. Let's go find BatchLeads.io. Okay, where's log in? No, BatchLeads. Holy cow, there it is. Okay. So I have messed around with BatchLeads before, as I think you've seen in other videos, other episodes. Okay, we have a lot of properties. 420,000 properties. That's more than I want on my list. So I'm actually going to remove this boundary, and I know what boundary I want. I'm going to use this polygon thing to select like Tempe. I'm actually not gonna include Scottsdale. Like a big chunk of the East Valley in Phoenix. I missed I drew that shape wrong, so I'm gonna actually do it again. So Tempe and like the East Valley. So here we go. Roughly, right? There we go. There's my boundary, and I have 1 million properties found. Oh, 405,000 properties found. Way too many. So again, we're going to go to these filters, just like Kyle showed us. And I want to do as few filters as possible while still creating a meaningful list. So I was thinking, as you may have heard on the last episode, I was thinking maybe just 2 filters. Properties that were purchased within X amount of years. I'm thinking after March 2020. And whose listings have expired. So that insinuates that they have been attempted to be sold since then and expired. Okay, so let's start with the expired thing. No, let's start with the last sale date. It's asking for a range, not a date. Okay, fine. I'll say like November 1st, 2020. I don't know. To just last summer, this past summer. Okay. Give me those sale dates. Okay, so there's 81,000. I cut it in like 10%, like 20%. My list. Good. We're whittling it down. What is this? Cash buyers. Oh, it also applied the same filter to the cash buyers filter category section thing. MLS status. Remember, only those 2 things. Sale date within the last roughly 4 years. And, failed listing. it also wants a range. So it's saying like last 7 days, I guess. I'm going to be super specific. Like the last 3 days. 2 days. 34 properties. Okay, awesome. Simple list. I don't even know. Yeah, let's see these properties. Let's just see. I don't even know what they are. Let's zoom in on my area here. We're in Phoenix. Well, we're outside of Phoenix in what they call the East Valley. At least a huge part of the East Valley. Okay, cool. Let me just spot check this. I'm going to click on one of these properties and see if it even makes sense. A sense check, right? All right, cool. So I know this area, 1,700 square feet. Last sale price was $600,000 in 2022. The listing amount that failed was for $800,000. So he wants to get $200,000 out of it. Estimated value is significantly less than the list value, so no wonder it failed than the list amount. Estimated equity, maybe he has $100,000 in equity. So maybe I should like refine it so that it's properties purchased after like summer 2022. Because that's a lot of equity. Like he has room to dial back. So on his price, so $165,000 in equity minus figure closing costs. I don't know, $50,000. I don't actually know, $50,000. So he can still bring his list price down by $85,000. Maybe he wouldn't want to do that. I'm not going to DQ this guy. I'm going to call this a good list based off my one spot check. So I have 34 properties found. Awesome. How do we export this list? Select all. Okay. Save. List. Save. Okay. Save properties. Save agents. I guess I want the agents because I'm putting it into LOI Blaster, which sends to agents. So if these are mutually exclusive options, I'm definitely going to save the agents. Agent list. I'm going to type a new one. John's first list. Create new list. Agent tag. John's first list. I don't know. Create a new tag. You are about to save 34 agents to your agent list. Yeah, let's do that. Saving agents. I like the boot check. Saving 34 agents to John's first list. You will get a notification once it is completed. I will? Where? Would you like to save the selected there we go. It's not mutually exclusive. Would you like to save the selected properties too? Yeah, I guess, yeah. Property list. John's first list. Properties. Yeah, so it's a separate and distinct list. That's kind of weird. John's first list. Properties. New tag. Skip trace? No, I don't need to do that right now. Exclude properties that do not have a USPS verified address. Yeah. Otherwise, what? Am I going to get like a dirt lot with a bush in it? Like, do I want that? I'm going to exclude those. Save. Saving properties. Okay, saving. Would you like to save the agents for your selected? I already did that. So I'm going to hit done. Lists. My lists over here in this, excuse me, in this side navigation bar that Kyle showed us. I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to, Oh, this isn't what I expected. We'll see what happens when it loads. Okay. 80,000. This is like every list combined. So I'm gonna select lists or tags. Oh, John's first list properties. John's first list properties. Okay. This isn't my agent list. Oh, agent outreach. Here we go. Agent lists. Here we go. 1 of 15 through 31. So this is my only agent list. It's the one that I created just now. There's no other agent list in the account. So how do I export this? Oh, actions. Oh, I guess I should select all of them. Lead status, new. Yeah, these are all new. I wish it showed 100 per page, but it's only showing like 15. What's going on? Actions, export to Excel. We're getting there. We're doing the thing. Export to Excel. Select. Oh, what's going on? Lead status. I see all these parameters. Agent website, license number, office name. Yeah, give me all the info, man. Give me all the info. Office county. Yeah, maybe I want to know if their office is not in Maricopa County. Next. Enter file name. I'll say John's first list. Export. The actual exported file name will be what you enter here, along with an internal ID number. Okay, that's cool. File name only contain. Maybe I should work for BatchLeads as a proofreader. File name can only contain letters, numbers, and spaces. John's first list export. Okay, I assume it's going to accept my apostrophe. Next. Hello. I definitely hit next. Maybe it does. It actually hates my apostrophe. Interesting. Here we go. Success. We are working on your export. Once completed, you can download it from Agent Export Logs. Your thing is complete. Oh my gosh. The toast notification vanished. What did it say? Agent Export Logs? Apparently it's exported. So that is part 1. We are done with part 1, which is exporting what I think is a meaningful list to then put into LOI Blaster. Part 1 complete. On to part 2. Now we are on to part 2 of 3. We need to bring the list into LOI Blaster. So I have to actually go buy LOI Blaster. So I searched for it on Google and here it is. I don't know where we're going to get stuck. If we're going to get stuck, I have no idea. Remember, I'm the moron here. I am the resident moron in Moron and Millionaire. Okay, so here's the, I guess, homepage or landing page for the marketing site, LOI Blaster. I've seen this page before. Just poking around here. Let's watch.
If you're trying to get your first or next real estate deal, why would you be wasting your time manually sending offers when you could actually be getting on the phones, closing deals, and making money? That's what the LOI Blaster is for. Check this out. You just go up here, take over your market, and we'll take this crazy list of data that we do not need or care about. Okay. We're going to go up here, and we're going to scan those low equity leads, and let's see what happens. And just like that, not only did we run that list, take all of that garbage we didn't need, and turn it into this nice, clean list that checked against your existing leads and brought in the new ones, but we also made calculations like how much equity the property had, how much cash to offer the seller, so you don't even have to think about it, and a cash offer price so that you can offer them that as well. Multiple different offers, better chance of getting something accepted. But
Right.
we're not
Two
even
different
done
offers.
yet. That was just step one. Now that we've
Two
done that,
different
we're going to
types of
generate
offers.
custom LOIs for each property. Again, just a couple seconds. Watch this. Boom. Just like that. You can see
Okay, I
right here, it
assume
says
that actually was a
LOIs
couple
generated.
seconds
We're going to
because
click
it stopped the
OK
video.
and check this thing out. Customized LOI for every single one of these properties has been made for us. We're going to hover over this first one. You can see the address is already in the title. Let's click over and check this thing out. Again, custom LOI. It's got the address in here. It's got today's date. It's got the mortgage
Okay.
balance. It's got everything that we're going to offer them. You can customize this
Should
to
I
do
make a
whatever you
logo?
like. But the main point of these LOIs
we'll
is that
see.
every single one of them is going to be custom to the property, specific to what you are doing, so that you can be as effective as possible. And we're still not done, because once you customize those LOIs, you're going to go to step 3
Yeah,
right
of
here,
course, you gotta
and
send
you're going
them.
to export those properties so that when you are ready,
Export.
you can take these properties, you can mail them, email them to agents, you can email them through your CRM, or
I
you can
wanna
email them
email
manually
them
if you want.
straight
Whatever
from
works best
LOI
for you,
Blaster.
we've got it for you. But the main point is that we are going to take away the aspect of you having to take the time to send LOIs manually, write all these offers, and get maybe 3, 4, 5 out a day. We're doing 100x. We're doing 300, 400, 500 LOIs a day if you want, so you can get your first
My
and
list
next
isn't
deal
even
faster
500,
and make
so.
some money. So I'm out of here. I don't want to bother you guys anymore. I just want to let you guys jump in and get started.
Okay. Awesome. Here's some videos I watched recently. Let's see. Okay, pricing. Monthly. Okay, they're saying it's usually $9.97, or that's maybe what they'll do in the future. But for now, they're positioning it as lower than that at $4.97 setup fee with $97 a month. I make that weird face when I see setup fee just all the time. Because sometimes when people, I'm not saying LOI Blaster does this, but sometimes when people say, oh, it's this big fat setup fee and then this low monthly fee, it's so that the consumer feels invested. In my experience, I've seen this happen a couple times where that's because otherwise the consumer would leave. So I hope it's a good product. We're going to buy it. Okay. I assume all of these buttons go to the same place. Check out. Okay. All right, I'll pause here, fill out the details, and then continue to billing info, and then go from there. All right, I just finished checkout, and it took me to this onboarding, like, welcome video by the guy who did the last video, who I assume is one of those 3 founders we saw on the bottom of the homepage of the marketing site.
Hey guys, welcome to the LOI Blaster. We are so excited to have you, and I want to take just a quick minute to show you guys exactly what you need to get started. So we're going to jump right into the welcome email that you're going to be getting. If you do not see this email, check your spam folder. It's sent to the email that you signed up with. But let's jump right into it. So here's the email. You can see that there's a couple steps to get started. The first step is the software download. So this is the actual LOI Blaster itself. And if you go over here, you click here to download, you're going to see that this is going to ask you to make a copy, and you're just going to click make a copy, and you're going to name this download after whatever you want. Name it after yourself so that you can have that on your computer. So right here where it says copy of the LOI Blaster, I'm going to call it Ryan's LOI Blaster. And that way I can find this anytime I want. I can just type in Ryan's LOI Blaster in my search bar and it'll pop right up. It's also going to be saved on your Google Drive. So now I have the software downloaded. You never have to do that again. The next thing is we're going to go to step 2 and we're going to join the Facebook group. So click join the Facebook group. If you haven't already, jump in there, make the request, and that way you can see all of the events and all the links to the live trainings, and you can also talk with everybody else inside. The third step is logging into Kajabi. Kajabi is where all of our trainings and all of our onboarding videos are. You guys, if you haven't already, are shortly going to get an email with your login credentials to Kajabi. So make sure that you log into Kajabi and you will see all the onboarding, all of the troubleshooting, and all the trainings right inside. Do not miss that step. And a pro tip here is for on-the-go access, make sure that you download that Kajabi app so that you always have access to those videos. Then, after that, that's it. You're ready to start sending offers. Make sure that you jump into the live trainings. We do them every single week. If you haven't already been in those, I would start there. But we are so excited, and we will see you guys inside.
So, yeah, I'm going to go do that boring stuff, get all set up, and come back in a minute.